Osmoon was always, some sort of capacity. He was a Minister of Interior. He was advisor to Hoveyda. I even saw it once. I remember he was governor of Fars province. In fact, I photographed him with Hoveyda when we did the electoral tour, and he was the one writing Hoveyda's speech. And you could see he was very close to Hoveyda. Trials, proper ones, were secret, and they would not let in the press. They had their own people filming it or photographing. So I knew they were happening, of course, because we saw the bodies the next day. So I tried everything, to try to get in one of the trials, and no way. I mean, I was perceived as being the photographer then because I was everywhere during the revolution. In fact, people recognized me and said, "Oh, of course, we know you. We know, we know this, we know that. Don't worry, But no way I couldn't get inside. So eventually, the only way to get in, I had befriended a journalist from Etalat who was also the son or a grandson of a grand Ayatollah. So he took me in a couple of times. And then after that, they stopped me going in. But Osmoon was one of the trials I attended. But of course, the guy, that he's alone, and there are people behind him, they're all pro-revolution, and they all want him to be executed. He's very tense because his head is on the line. And he doesn't recognize me because I'm behind the camera. And so they let me take photographs. And I always thought, maybe I should have sort of, shown some human gentleness towards him. Maybe I should have shook hands with him, because I'm sure in a moment like that, he would have liked that. But then I said, listen, Abbas, you tolerate it, please, here. Don't overdo it. If they see you shaking hands with somebody who's going to be executed, and everybody knows he's going to be executed, then you won't be able to come back. So most important, I'm sorry to say, but, before being a human, you have to be a photographer, okay? So I remember he even asked, he said, man as imam darkhast af mikonam. I'm asking for pardon from the imam. And of course, the guy said, the guy presiding, he said, yes, of course. And I went to him, to him or somebody else, and said, you think, because it was at night, I said, do you think you're going to bring this case to Khomeini's attention? He said, hey, come on, Khomeini's asleep. You think we're going to wake him up for that? So everybody knew he's going to be executed. So sure enough, the next day, that was amazing. All I had to do was go to morgue. I go to the morgue, and his body's lying there naked with just a paper, hiding his sex. But the story does not end there. Later on in Paris, I heard from a common friend that his widow knows that I've taken pictures, and she wants to hear, what happened. So I said, well, so she comes and visits me, and we sit down, and I described to her the trial. And then she said, I want to see the pictures. I said, I can show the picture of the trial, but not the execution, because they're very horrendous photographs. I said, no, I want to see them. I said, okay, so I go and bring the photographs and show them, and I remember she looks at the execution. That was one of the very strong moments for me. Again, it's like, you don't let your emotions take over, but then you pay the price, and they come back later. It was a very, very tough moment for me, seeing the widow. And yeah,